As we gaze up at the night sky, we can't help but wonder, what secrets does the universe hold? Could there be other worlds out there, just waiting for us to discover them? Today, we embark on a journey to the very edge of human understanding, and we ask the question, can humans truly thrive on the red planet? Mars has long been a subject of fascination, a mysterious orb that has captured our imaginations for centuries. But could it also be a place where we could one day call home? Follow us as we delve into the possibility of human life on Mars and explore what it might look like in all its wonder and complexity. Exciting space discoveries are happening all around us, from Mars rovers to the Webb telescope. And now, with the Artemis I mission, we are about to explore space deeper than ever before. But with all this exploration comes a question that has long captivated the minds of scientists and space enthusiasts alike. Can humans live on Mars? On the surface, it seems that the answer may be yes. Mars and Earth have many similarities, leading many to consider them twins. However, there are also significant differences between the two planets that will need to be overcome in order for humans to thrive on Mars. Some of the challenges we would need to consider include the length of a Martian day, our basic survival needs, and how to adapt to the unique conditions on the red planet. As the Artemis I mission begins to pave the way for future exploration of Mars, we can only wonder what other exciting discoveries and possibilities may lay ahead. While Earth and Mars share some similarities, such as their respective orbits around the Sun and axis tilts, there are also important differences between the two planets. However, there are also important differences that must be taken into account when considering the possibility of human life on Mars. One key difference is the atmosphere of the two planets. While Earth's atmosphere is composed of nitrogen and oxygen, Mars's atmosphere is carbon dioxide based. Another difference can be found in the ice caps of the two planets. While both Earth and Mars have ice caps, the ice on Earth is made of pure water, while the ice on Mars is a mixture of water and carbon dioxide. The surface of Mars is also quite different from that of Earth. Mars's surface is made up of rock and dust, while Earth's surface is 70% water. Temperature is another important consideration when comparing the two planets. Average temperatures on Mars are a frigid -81 degrees Fahrenheit and can drop as low as -220 degrees in the winter. In the summer, temperatures on Mars can rise to a more comfortable +70 degrees. Finally, while it takes Mars longer to orbit the Sun than it does Earth, a day on Mars is about the same length as a day on Earth. This is a factor that could make Mars more hospitable for human life. One thing that has attracted scientists to the idea of humans living on Mars is the fact that it has a similar axis tilt and orbits the Sun just like Earth. However, it should be noted that the orbit of Mars is longer than that of Earth. So how long is a day on Mars? Well, because Mars is further from the Sun, it takes the planet 687 days to complete one orbit. This means that a year on Mars is much longer than a year on Earth, which takes 365 days. Despite this difference, the length of a day on Mars is similar to that of Earth. A full day on Mars, or a rotation on its axis, takes 24 hours and 37 minutes, making it 37 minutes longer than on Earth. Another similarity between Earth and Mars is the presence of seasons on the red planet. However, the temperature on Mars can be much more extreme due to its thin atmosphere and closer proximity to the Sun. There are 4 essential requirements for human survival: water, shelter, food, and oxygen. As we consider the possibility of humans living on Mars, these are all factors that must be taken into account. Water on Mars. Scientists have found evidence of water on Mars, but it isn't present in the same form as it is on Earth. there is some water on the surface of Mars, but because of the extreme cold on the planet, it is all ice. This ice is not the same as the ice we experience on Earth, however. On Mars, ice is made up of a mixture of water ice and CO2 ice, due to the high levels of CO2 on the planet. There is also water present inside of rocks on Mars, but the lack of surface water could be a challenge for humans trying to settle on the planet. Scientists are continuing to learn more about Mars in order to figure out where we might be able to obtain water on the planet. Shelter on Mars. Another challenge in the quest to live on Mars is finding suitable shelter. Transporting construction materials to Mars could be very expensive, so scientists are looking at the possibility of using materials from Mars itself to build homes. These homes would need to be able to withstand the radiation levels, temperature fluctuations, and lack of oxygen present on Mars. Some possibilities for Mars homes include ice igloos or underground structures, as well as above-ground habitats designed to meet the necessary specifications. Food on Mars. Growing food on Mars would not be the same as growing crops on Earth. Instead, plants would need to be grown without soil, using methods like tank farming or aquaculture. This involves planting crops in nutrient-rich water and using artificial lights to provide the necessary nutrients. Some scientists have even suggested creating a more suitable atmosphere for growing food on Mars by adding greenhouse gases to the planet's thin atmosphere. However, this is a very ambitious project, and it is more realistic to think that humans living on Mars would rely on aquaculture as a primary source of food. Air on Mars. One of the biggest challenges of sending humans to Mars is the fact that the planet has a much thinner atmosphere than Earth, with much less oxygen. On Earth, 21% of the air is oxygen, which makes it suitable for human life, but on Mars, oxygen makes up only 0.13% of the air, with the majority being carbon dioxide, which is harmful to humans. To address this issue, NASA has been experimenting with MOXIE, which stands for Mars Oxygen ISRU experiment, an instrument designed to convert CO2 to oxygen on Mars. This instrument, which is part of the Mars Perseverance rover, has successfully created oxygen from CO2, opening up the possibility for further experiments and a potential solution to the problem of air on Mars. There are also other challenges that humans would face if we were to attempt to live on Mars, beyond the basic necessities for survival. For example, the temperatures on Mars can drop to very low levels at night, reaching below -100 degrees Fahrenheit. Additionally, Mars is subject to dust storms, high levels of radiation, and has less gravity than Earth. These are all issues that would need to be addressed before humans could consider making Mars our home. As we come to the end of our exploration of the challenges and possibilities of human life on Mars, we can't help but wonder, what does the future hold for our species on the Red Planet? From the search for water and shelter, to the quest for a breathable atmosphere and sustainable food sources, we have learned just how complex and multifaceted the question of human life on Mars truly is. But despite the many obstacles in our way, we remain hopeful that one day humans will be able to thrive on Mars. So what do you think? Could humans truly call Mars home one day? Or are there impossible obstacles in our way? Share your views with us in the comments. We'd love to read them. And if you found this video informative and enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button as well. We'd really appreciate the gesture. Thank you for watching.